The drama between young Thug and Mariah The Scientist has exploded like never before, from public bragging about a baby, to leaked jail calls, threats, and shocking revelations. The story is full of betrayal, chaos, and twists you won't believe. And the craziest part, the baby isn't even his. Stick around, because what happened next turned the internet upside down and changed everything we thought we knew about this relationship. Y'all, things have been wild with young Thug lately. Word on the street is, he's been spiraling, after discovering he's not the father of Mariah The Scientist's baby. Yeah, remember how he's been flaunting the news that he put a baby in Mariah? Well, it turns out he wasn't the only one in the mix. People close to the situation say Thug is taking it really hard. Rumor has it, he's allegedly been threatening Mariah, saying things about ruining her career, her life, and even going after the baby's real dad. The whole situation is heating up fast. Here's the tea. Mariah reportedly had other relationships while she was with young Thug, so, the baby she's carrying, it looks like it belongs to someone else. What really pushed this drama into the spotlight was young Thug himself. He didn't wait for the rumor mill to spin. He went straight to the cameras and spilled the beans. At a public event, TMZ asked about Mariah The Scientist, and Thug couldn't resist flexing, bragging openly about putting a baby in her. The timing couldn't have been worse. Mariah had a show that night, performing in front of her fans, and here he was, broadcasting private details for the world to see. The move was bold, reckless, and immediately controversial. Fans had a lot of mixed reactions. On one hand, they were used to Thug's larger-than-life personality and brash behavior. On the other, many had already been keeping tabs on his messy history, particularly his cheating scandals while he was in and out of prison. People remembered that he already had 6 kids with 4 different women. The thought of Mariah potentially becoming the next baby mama in that lineup made fans uneasy and, some downright angry. Social media erupted with opinions, jokes, and harsh commentary. Fans debated whether Mariah should even be involved with him, and some went as far as jokingly threatening to stop listening to her music if she allowed herself to stay in the mix with Thug. The reactions were dramatic, as if a soap opera had come to life in real time. It wasn't just fans reacting to the pregnancy rumors, it was the context that made the story so explosive. Thug's public bragging wasn't the only problem. Many people already knew about his complicated history with fidelity. Reports had surfaced that during his time in prison, he had been engaging with multiple women, even admitting to flirting or sleeping with them while behind bars. There was even talk of him being involved with a prison guard. In other words, while Mariah had been supporting him and staying loyal, Thug had been running a completely different playbook. The hypocrisy alone fueled the anger from fans. At the same time, Mariah had consistently defended him, speaking warmly about their relationship in interviews. She had shared that despite the emotional toll of him being incarcerated, she genuinely felt their connection had deepened. She described herself as sensitive and emotional at first, crying over their separation, but she tried to maintain her composure so as not to add to his burdens. Even when faced with public criticism and speculation, Mariah consistently painted a picture of loyalty, devotion, and hope that their relationship would survive the rough patches. She spoke of wanting to marry him when he got out of prison, emphasizing that her patience and faith were rooted in the belief that Thug was the one. But Thug's public bragging contradicted all of that. By declaring he had put a baby in Mariah on camera, he not only exposed private details but also invited scrutiny, gossip, and judgment. Suddenly, fans weren't just questioning Thug, they were questioning Mariah's choices, her judgment, and her personal life. The spotlight was unforgiving, and social media became a breeding ground for criticism, memes, and endless debate. People weren't just discussing the baby, they were dissecting Thug's past actions, his reputation, and the reality of Mariah being involved with someone known for multiple affairs and complicated relationships. What made the situation even more chaotic was how the fans' emotions split. Some were protective of Mariah, applauding her strength and loyalty while condemning Thug's recklessness. Others were frustrated with her for being associated with someone whose reputation preceded him. The discussion ranged from supportive and empathetic to biting and sarcastic. Tweets ranged from shocked disbelief, how could she stay with him after everything, to dramatic, tongue-in-cheek declarations, like threatening to never listen to her music again if she remained with Thug. Social media, in essence, became a digital courtroom where everyone had a say, and the opinions poured in endlessly. Adding fuel to the fire was the timing of Thug's comments. The public announcement coincided with Mariah's own professional commitments. She was performing a live show, giving her all to her audience. while Thug's offhand comment about her pregnancy instantly overshadowed her career moment. Fans and casual observers alike couldn't help but notice the contrast. One partner focused on work, artistry, and performance. The other focused on boasting, bragging, and controlling the narrative through public spectacle. Ultimately, Thug's decision to announce the pregnancy himself backfired. Instead of controlling the narrative, he handed it over to the public and the internet had a field day. His attempt to flex and assert dominance over Mariah's life ended up casting him in a negative light, exposing his hypocrisy, his history, and his reckless behavior. Meanwhile, Mariah was forced to navigate a whirlwind of public scrutiny, fan reactions, and personal emotions, all while trying to maintain her dignity and focus on her own life and career. In many ways, this situation highlighted a bigger picture: the dangers of public bragging and the weight of personal accountability. By attempting to flaunt his supposed control over Mariah and her life, Thug inadvertently triggered a wave of judgment, criticism, and exposure that he couldn't undo. Fans dissected every word, every past scandal, and every relationship detail to build a picture that cast Thug as reckless and Mariah as both loyal and resilient. Social media didn't just react, it amplified, scrutinized, and judged. At the end of the day, this drama served as a cautionary tale. Public figures who brag about personal matters often underestimate the consequences. In Thug's case, a single boast about putting a baby in Mariah didn't just generate headlines, it ignited public debate, split fan bases, and turned his own actions into a lesson about accountability. Meanwhile, Mariah emerged as the figure navigating the chaos with more grace than he did, proving that loyalty and patience can often withstand even the loudest, most public storms. In short, what should have been a private matter became a viral spectacle, all because Thug couldn't resist talking. The drama didn't just impact them, it captivated the public, created endless conversation on social media, and reminded everyone why keeping private matters private is sometimes the smartest move of all. And here's the kicker: the baby isn't even Thug's. Suspicious about the timing, he pushed for a DNA test and the results confirmed it. People were even more shocked that Thug got upset over Mariah cheating on him, especially considering he had been unfaithful while in prison. A leaked jail call revealed just how messy things really got between young Thug and Mariah The Scientist. In the call, Thug casually bragged about his affairs, including one with a woman named Cleo. Even as Mariah confronted him about the situation, he tried to cover his tracks, claiming that a photo Mariah had discovered was old. But the truth was far more shocking. The picture was recent, taken only days before his arrest, proving that his lies were deliberate and that his behavior had continued right up until he went behind bars. This revelation set off a chain reaction that only made the Patu situation worse for Mariah. While Thug was locked up, Cleo began to actively taunt her on social media. She posted pictures with captions like, "Am I your baby?" a direct jab at Mariah and her relationship with Thug. Mariah, understandably, did not take the slight lightly. The online jabs added fuel to an already volatile mix of emotions. What should have been a private matter had now become a very public spectacle, played out across Instagram feeds and Twitter timelines. Feeling cornered and humiliated, Mariah decided to confront Cleo in person. She tried to stand her ground at a club, confronting Cleo face, but the confrontation did not go as planned. Reports indicate that the altercation ended badly for Mariah, with Cleo allegedly getting the upper hand physically. The incident left Mariah embarrassed and shaken, adding another layer of complexity to an already tense situation. The public was left watching, torn between sympathy for Mariah and fascination at the chaos unfolding. The combination of Thug's brazen infidelity, his blatant lies, and Cleo's public provocations created a perfect storm. Fans and onlookers on social media could hardly keep up with the narrative. The leaked jail calls, the photos, and the social media posts painted a vivid picture of betrayal, jealousy, and public humiliation. People dissected every detail, commenting on Thug's audacity, Cleo's boldness, and Mariah's reaction. It was a real-time drama, with everyone on the internet playing the role of judge, jury, and commentator. Ultimately, the situation underscored several harsh realities of high-profile relationships. When personal disputes are combined with social media, leaked calls, and public taunting, the impact is magnified exponentially. Mariah's experience got between Thug's infidelity, Cleo's provocations, and the court of public opinion became a case study in how quickly a personal conflict can spiral out of control. Fans could empathize with her struggles, but they were also captivated by the chaos, feeding a cycle of discussion and speculation that seemed never ending. In the end, this episode was more than just gossip, it was a stark reminder of the consequences of dishonesty, infidelity, and public posturing. Thug's behavior had repercussions far beyond his own life, affecting Mariah's emotional well-being, her public image, and even her safety in a confrontational situation. Cleo's provocations only amplified the tension, showing how third parties can escalate already difficult situations. For Mariah, the experience was painful, public, and unavoidable, highlighting the unique pressures faced by women involved with high-profile men. This saga of leaked calls, social media jabs, and a physical confrontation illustrates just how messy life can get when private matters become public spectacles. It also sets the stage for the next chapter in this ongoing drama, as fans, insiders, and the media continue to follow every move of the people involved. Mariah's resilience in navigating this chaos, while maintaining her dignity, contrasts sharply with Thug's reckless behavior, making the story as much about her strength as it is about his mistakes. Meanwhile, Thug wasn't exactly keeping his hands clean in prison. In another leaked call, he was talking to yet another woman, promising to make her pregnant once he got out. The man was clearly living in his own chaotic world. Bottom line, the young Thug-Mariah situation is a full-blown drama filled with betrayal, threats, and social media chaos, and it's far from over, y'all. The drama with young Thug and Mariah Vicent just keeps getting messier. In another leaked jail call, Thug casually bragged about talking to 10 different women every single day while behind bars. And yes, there's even a claim that he slept with a prison guard. Seriously, the man's activity was outpacing FedEx deliveries. Meanwhile, Mariah was holding it down, keeping her composure and speaking nothing but positive things about young Thug. Even in the middle of one of the messiest chapters of their relationship, in an interview with Angela she opened up in a way that made it clear just how emotionally complicated her situation had been while he was in prison. At first, she admitted, it was incredibly hard. She was overwhelmed by her feelings, crying often, and struggling to process the uncertainty of their relationship. Being separated from someone she cared deeply about brought a wave of vulnerability. She wasn't used to confronting publicly. But despite all of that, Mariah made a conscious effort to stay strong. She didn't want her sadness to add to Thug's burdens or make him feel guilty for the choices he had made that landed him behind bars. She understood the emotional weight of a partner in prison and tried to carry her pain privately, which spoke volumes about her patience and loyalty. This wasn't just about enduring the separation, it was about consciously holding herself together, being the emotional anchor for someone else, even when she felt like breaking apart inside. What surprised many fans and perhaps even herself was that the experience seemed to strengthen her connection with Thug rather than weaken it. Mariah explained that being apart gave her a new perspective on their relationship. The distance forced both of them to reflect on what they truly meant to each other. She described it as almost paradoxical. The separation, rather than creating distance between them, became a space where their bond solidified. It was as if the trials and emotional turbulence had reinforced the foundation of their connection. Mariah was willing to wait because she believed in the potential of their love. She shared that she truly saw something in Thug that made her feel he was the one, a sentiment not easily shaken by rumors, public judgment, or the complications of his past behavior. Her faith in their relationship wasn't blinded, was rooted in her perception of his character and the moments they had shared before the chaos of the public spotlight and legal troubles intervened. She had hope that the relationship could endure, that the challenges were temporary, and that the love they shared could withstand even the most testing circumstances. In fact, Mariah even mentioned her desire to marry him when he got out. It was a statement that highlighted her commitment and her willingness to look past the turmoil. The idea of marriage wasn't just symbolic, it represented her belief in the long-term potential of their partnership. While many outsiders might have been shocked by such a declaration, especially given Thug's public reputation for infidelity and complicated relationships, Mariah's words reflected her perspective as someone who had invested deeply, emotionally, and mentally in the relationship. She also spoke about the delicate balance she tried to maintain. Mariah didn't ignore her own needs or feelings, but she made an effort to navigate her emotions in a way that supported both herself and Thug. It was a complicated dance of vulnerability, strength, patience, and hope. She acknowledged the difficulty of being emotionally invested in someone who was simultaneously absent and embroiled in public controversies, but she approached the challenge with grace. What stood out the most was her resilience. Even in the face of criticism from fans, gossip circulating online, and the inherent strain of loving someone in prison, Mariah remained grounded. Her ability to articulate her emotions, her understanding of the situation, and her steadfastness highlighted a maturity and strength that often gets lost in celebrity drama narratives. She wasn't just reacting, she was actively processing, evaluating, and making choices that aligned with what she believed to be right for her and her relationship. Ultimately, Mariah's reflections painted a picture of a woman navigating a high-pressure situation with thoughtfulness, loyalty, and heart. Her willingness to wait for Thug, to maintain hope, and to even envision marriage despite the chaos around them, illustrated the depth of her commitment. It also highlighted the emotional complexity behind public relationships that are constantly under scrutiny, a reminder that loyalty and love can exist even amidst the wildest storms. She described their relationship as balanced and said people often misunderstand it, but that didn't stop her from living her truth. But here's the kicker. Thug's past cheating couldn't be hidden this time because his own voice was on tape admitting everything. He had to come clean and even apologized publicly on Twitter. "My baby, I was wrong, and I'm sorry for what I put you through. You deserve better from me. Thank you for everything, and I'd do anything to make this work. Please leave her out of this, she's innocent." Even with that apology, rumors swirled about a breakup. Thug cryptically tweeted, "Chapter ended," while Mariah herself deleted their photos from Instagram and shared lyrics from her song Rainy Days, which hinted at heartbreak she didn't deserve. Fans praised her for being smart enough to step away. Then came the twist. People discovered they were still appearing together, like at Ty Dolla $ign's album release party. Naturally, the internet dragged her for it, calling her all sorts of names. But it turns out Mariah was already protecting herself, quietly living her life and handling her business on her own terms. And honestly, who could blame her? She even wrote a song called Revenge about taking back control after being cheated on. Now, the tables have turned on young Thug. He wanted everyone to think he had her locked down with a baby, only to be exposed by a DNA test he allegedly demanded himself. He's furious, embarrassed, and scrambling to shift blame. But the irony is that he's the one who set this whole mess in motion by bragging in the first place. Meanwhile, Mariah is already moving forward, healing, thriving, and living her truth. Fans who once were ready to clown her are now laughing at him. And believe me, this fallout is just getting started. The streets are about to come for him, and he knows it.